did go off. Alright. So this is like my second shoot right now. First when I was in the middle of it and phone rang. Phone's out there with my father. So, my very first episode. I don't know what to call the show, but I'm going to be reviewing wrestling. UFC, WWE, TNA, mainly Monday Night Raw, Thursday Night Impact, Friday Night SmackDown, UFC pay-per-views, occasionally Ring of Honor when I decide to watch it, and then WWE and TNA pay-per-views. So my first show is going to be about TNA, and I know I'm going to regret starting this, and as TNA goes on with this stuff that they started. So the show started last night with Taz and Mike Tenay welcoming us to the show like always. The first match on the card was the X Division title Ultimate X match. It consisted of Austin Aries, who was the champion, versus Zema Ion versus Chris Sabin. The match was pretty decent, and there's a lot of bumps early on. I know Aries landed on his head a couple times. Chris Sabin actually got thrown out over the top rope onto Zema Ion, and he buckled his knee. The knee that he just got surgically repaired about a year ago. Just came back from it about 2 months ago. And match was good. But after, like I said, after he got Chris Sabin got injured, he wasn't in the match that much. So they traded shots. Ion with a boot to the face, up top, and sends Sabin to the floor. And climbs to stop Ion. He slams Ion into the metal rigging, and now he goes across the cable. Ion up to stop him, and Aries with the top rope Rana, which is her Karana, corner drop kick, and then a brain buster. Aries now climbs almost across and grabs the belt and wins. So Austin Aries retains the title in his first ever Ultimate X. Sabin may be hurt, like I said, as he is still down, possibly hurt his knee, surgically repaired, as he was oddly out for a lot of the ending of the match. The replay shows his knee seemed to buckle underneath him. And then, after the match, they went to commercial, came back. Aries says he came to TNA and made big claims almost a year ago. He said he could defeat anyone, that he was pound for pound the best in wrestling. He said he was the greatest man that ever lived. And they gave him an inch, he took a yard. They gave him a mile, he knocked it all out of the park. It doesn't matter what match he is in. He is always the main event and always must see TV. But he's not satisfied with the X Division title, and he is here to take respect. So what he was saying for that is he wants the world title, which I think Aries has definitely deserved a shot now. But then the general manager, Hulk Hogan, comes out and says the only way Aries can get a world title shot is if he gives up the X Division title shot. And he will get the world title shot at Destination X. And Aries then replies he's worked his ass off to get it. And, you know, it's his life, practically. So Hulk Hogan gives him a week. And then they come back from a commercial, and Joseph Parks is in a catering discussing his victory at Slammiversary. I'm not going to get into that right now. But Bully Ray asks him where his brother Chris, Abyss, is. Joseph Parks tells him he hasn't seen him since he put Bully Ray through a table at Slammiversary. Then Bully Ray then says he will not rest until he finds Bully Ray. So the next match is Devon versus Hernandez. I didn't get to see the match, but from what I heard from friends that watched it, it was a decent match, but Devon retained. And then they went backstage with Dixie Carter and AJ. Dixie told AJ to get his head in the game for the match tonight. And then here's when the TNA pay-per-view, TNA Impact from last night took a big swerve. They started the Bound for Glory series a little bit early this year with a gauntlet. The point system is followed: submission victories 10 points, pinfall victories 7, countout victories 5, disqualification victories 3 points, draw, time limit, double countout, double disqualification is 2 points. Disqualification loss, you lose 10 points. So the first two that started was AJ and Jeff Hardy, and then Rob Van Dam was the third guy. And then when Bully Ray came out, a little bit after, Abyss came from under the ring again, just like at Slammiversary, and eliminated him. But now this is what I don't get, is Abyss wasn't in the gauntlet. He eliminated Bully Ray. Bully Ray shouldn't have been eliminated. Technically, if you're not registered in, you can't eliminate somebody. But James Storm makes his big return. James Storm gets 20 points. And then James Storm grabs the mics and says that when he was on Impact last, he thought his luck ran out. He spent time with his family and on his farm, which he built with blood, sweat, and tears, just like his wrestling career. He said his home would tell him when it was time. And when his daughter asked if he was going back to wrestling, he knows what wrestling means to him. But he didn't know what meant to her. And now that he is back, he didn't know what he meant to the fans until he came out at Slammiversary. And then he said that Bobby Roode's luck's gonna run out if he's still champion, because he's gonna win it. So AJ and Angle are backstage. Angle is pissed at AJ because AJ kicked him in the head and knocked him out. And then this match, I don't even remember watching last night. Miss Tessmacher, the champion, versus Madison Rayne. The knockout champion was Miss Tessmacher, but it was a non-title. Miss Tessmacher won as it went back and forth. La-di-da. And then the next match was the TNA World title. Not going to get into this match. It was the most sloppiest match I've ever seen. But Bobby Roode won. And then next week's open fight night. Thank you. And then now this is when it went back on the road last night. When it went back to being good. Jeremy Borash introduces the first TNA Hall of Fame member, Sting, which Sting was well deserved. We got to see his Hall of Fame video package, including comments from the TNA roster. Sting makes his way to the ring, and he says that Slammiversary was a great night in his career. He mentions losing to Roode, but says that he had one goal, that was to take a chunk out of Roode's backside, and he did. But to be the first inductee into the TNA Hall of Fame meant a lot to him. The crowd chants that he deserved it, and Sting says that there are so many others that deserve the honor. So he wants to say thank you to Jerry and Jeff Jarrett for starting TNA. He thanks Dixie Carter, but as he does, a group of 3 masked men attack him. They beat Sting down and choke him out with a chain. Crowd chants for Hogan as Sting gets an ass beating as they fade to black. So I think this was a great way to end the show, because it leaves everybody with a big fat question mark. Who are the 3 masked men? Could it be Bully Ray? Could it be Robert Roode? Could it be AJ Styles? You don't know who they are. I have a feeling it's Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, maybe Bully Ray, or Robert Roode. I'm not sure. But when I was watching the TNA post show, they interviewed Roode. Roode said he had nothing to do with the attack, which I highly doubt. But that was TNA last night, and my thought, if I was to rate it out of 10, I'd say about a 7.5. It was decent. It wasn't that bad. there were some parts that was shouldn't have happened. And that's it for my very first episode. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It will be in the description box below. And oh yeah, and don't forget to send me ideas on what to call the show. I need those. So when I get the idea, I'll take this one off and upload it with the name of the show. So I'll be back later tonight to review SmackDown, or I'll do it early Saturday morning. And then after that video, I'm going to throw in a video reviewing WWE's pay-per-view No Way Out this Sunday. So, hope you liked it. I'll be back after.